So in this video session, I'll be solving one more problem on Stokes theorem, which is a topic of Module 1 vector calculus. So let's go through. The question is verify Stokes theorem for vector f is equal to x square plus y square I minus 2xyk taken round the rectangle bounded by the lines x is equal to plus or minus a, y is equal to 0 and y is equal to b. So first we shall write down this statement of Stokes theorem. So we have integral over the curve C vector f into d vector r is equal to double integral over the surface S curl vector f into n cap es. Then next we shall draw the graph of the given lines. So the given lines are x is equal to plus or minus a. So this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. So first we shall plot the line of x is equal to a on the positive x-axis. Somewhere we shall consider the point as x is equal to a. So here I am considering the point as x is equal to a. So on this point, if we draw a line parallel to y-axis, then it is x is equal to a line. Okay. Same way on the negative x-axis. Somewhere I'll consider a point as x is equal to minus a. On this point, if we draw a line parallel to y-axis, then that line is called x is equal to minus a. Next, we have the line y is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 means x-axis. This is the line y is equal to 0. On x-axis, y points will be equal to 0. So that is why x-axis is y is equal to 0. And we have lastly y is equal to b. On positive axis, positive y-axis, somewhere I'll consider a point as y is equal to b. So here I'm considering the point y is equal to b. On this point, if we draw a line parallel to x-axis, then that line is called y is equal to b. So this is y is equal to b, and this is x is equal to a, and this is y is equal to 0, and this line is x is equal to minus a. Now we have to define a closed curve. So here all the points I'm naming it as this is A, B, C, D. So I'm defining a closed curve as A, B, C, D, A in this direction. I'm defining a closed curve. Okay. Now we have to find the integral over this curve. Okay. So the curve is bounded by these lines. X is equal to plus or minus a, y is equal to 0, and y is equal to b. So let us see how to evaluate this integral. First, we shall find the value of the LHS integral, that is integral over the curve C vector f into d vector r. This curve is taken as along AB, along BC, plus along CD, okay, plus along D. So this closed curve is divided into 4 line segments. So along these lines, we are going to find the line integral. Okay, so this all these integrals are named as I1, I2, I3, and I4. So let us find out each integral separately. So first we shall find the dot product of these two vector, vector f into d vector r. As you all know, d vector r means dxi plus dyj plus dzk. So vector f is given x square plus y square I minus 2xyj. K is not present in the given vector. So which means k will be equal to 0. So dot product of these two vectors will be x square plus y square into dx minus 2xy dy. So now first we shall find the integral along AB. So the first line I am considering is AB. Okay. So along AB. So along AB, what is the line? What is this line? This is y is equal to 0. And we have to consider the range of x. Here we can see x varies from minus a to a. Here minus a and plus a. X varies from minus a to, and this line is called y is equal to 0. Along AB, y is equal to 0 implies what? Dy is equal to 0, and x varies from minus a to a. So I1 is equal to. So what is I1? Here you can see this is our I1, that is integral over AB vector f into d vector. As we have already found what is vector f into d vector r. So along AB means we have to substitute y is equal to 0 and dy is equal to 0. So in this first term, if you substitute y is equal to 0, then what happens? You get x square into dx you get. And in the second term, if you replace y and dy by 0, second term vanishes. So what we get I1 as integral minus a to a, because x varies from minus a to a, and x square into here, what we are left after substituting y is equal to 0, we are left with x square into dx. So if we integrate with respect to x, we get x cubed by 3 between the limits minus a to a. Apply the limits, upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit is a, so a cube divided by 3 minus lower limit is minus a whole cube divided by 3. So what we get after simplification? 2a cube by 3. So this is the value of I1. Next, we shall find the integral along BC. Let us refer the figure. So this is BC. What is this line called? X is equal to a. This line is called x is equal to a. And what is the range of y? As you can see, y varies from 0 to b. You can see y points, because we are considering the line as x is equal to a. So we have to consider the range of y. So y varies from 0 to b. So along BC, x is equal to a is the line, implies dx is equal to 0, and y varies from 0 to b. So I2 is equal to. So what is our I2? So this is the integral. Okay. So in this dot product, we have to replace x by a and dx by 0. So if you substitute dx by 0, the first term vanishes. Okay. In I2, first term vanishes. Minus 2x. X is replaced by a. So you get minus 2ay into dy. Okay. Now integrate with respect to y, so that you get minus 2a square divided by 2. 2 will get cancelled. At the end, you will be left with minus a square, a into y square, between the limits 0 to b. Now apply the limits, upper limit minus lower limit. Since lower limit is 0, so you can ignore. Directly you can write the answer as minus ab square. So because y is replaced by b, so that you get minus ab square. Next, we shall find the integral along CD. Let us refer the figure again. CD. CD means this is the line y is equal to p. Okay. So this is the line y is equal to p. So now we have considered the substitution for y, so that we have to consider the range of x. So the line is in this way, is going from right to left. So x varies from a to minus a. So x varies from minus a to plus a to minus a. So along CD, y is equal to b and dy is equal to 0. X varies from a to minus a. So I3 is equal to a to minus a. So in the dot product of this, x must be replaced, y must be replaced by b. Okay, y must be replaced by b, so that what you get, x square plus b square into dx. Okay, and the second term vanishes because dy is equal to 0, so second term is equal to 0. So we get x square plus b square into dx. Let us integrate with respect to x. X cube divided by 3 plus b square into x, between the limits a to minus a. Apply the limits and simplify, so that you get minus 2a cube by 3 minus 2ab square. Next, we shall evaluate the integral along DA, along the line DA. Refer the figure DA. So this line is nothing but x is equal to minus a. So here we have got a substitution for x. So we have to consider the range of y. So here y is varying from b to 0. So the line is in this direction. So y varies from b to 0. So along DA, x is equal to minus a is the line, dx is equal to 0, and y varies from b to 0. So the integral becomes integral b to 0. In this dot product, x is replaced by minus a. So minus a whole square becomes plus a square. So a square plus y square into what about dx? Dx is replaced by 0, so first term vanishes. So we get only second term, that is minus 2ay into dy. Minus into minus plus 2ay into dy. So if you integrate with respect to y, you get a y square between the limits b to 0. Next, if you apply the limits, you get minus ab square. Now we shall substitute all I1, I2, I3, I4 values in the equation. So the integral over the curve C vector f into d vector r is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4. After simplification, here you can see plus 2a cube by 3 minus 2a cube by 3 will get cancelled. So minus ab square minus 2ab square will become minus 3ab square, minus ab square becomes minus 4ab square. This is the value of the LHS. Let us denote it as equation 1. Next, we shall evaluate the RHS integral. So for that, first we shall find the cross product of two vectors del cross f, that is ijk. First row is ijk, second row will be dou by dou x, dou by dou y and dou by dou z. Next we shall write the coefficients of vector f, that is x square plus y square minus 2xy. Since k is not present, so we shall write it as 0. Next, if you evaluate the determinant, then you get minus 2y into k, that is nothing but minus 4yk. As we know that ds vector is nothing but n cap ds is nothing but dy dzi plus dz dxj plus dx dyk. So curl f into n cap ds. So here curl f we got it as minus 4yk. Okay. So minus 4y into this vector. So minus 4yk into this vector means since I and j are not present in this vector, so it becomes 0. So when you multiply this vector with this vector, so that you get minus 4y into dx dy. K into k becomes 1. Now double integral over the surfaces. Curl vector f into n cap ds is equal to this integral is evaluated over the surface. Yes, what is the surface? That is given lines, that is x is equal to plus or minus a minus a to a and y is equal to 0 to b. So that minus 4 is kept outside the integration. Y into here, since it is y, so we have to first integrate with respect to y and then with respect to x. Minus 4 into integral minus a to a y square by 2 between the limits 0 to b. Integration of y is y square by 2. So if you apply the limits, after simplification, you get minus 2 into integral minus e to a b square into dx. So further, if you integrate, integration of constant is x. Integration of constant with respect to x is x. So minus 2b square, apply the limits, a minus of minus a plus 2a you get. So after simplification, you get minus 4ab square. So integral over the surfaces, curl vector f into n cap ds is nothing but minus 4ab square, which is the value of the RHS, denoted as equation 2. So if we compare equation 1 and 2, so here in equation 1 also we have got minus 4ab square. In equation 2 also we have got minus 4ab square. So thus from equation 1 and 2 we can conclude that the Stokes theorem is verified.